Welcome to another RSR. Tonight we're reviewing Universitario de Deportes 0, Inter Miami CF 0, preseason friendly for Miami. Not so for Universitario. They had played 14 games of their league season before this, so technically just a friendly. But Miami wins 4-5 on penalties. Knew I was forgetting some. 4-5 on penalties. This game was so empty that I almost forgot the fact that this went to penalties. And I'm looking at the book. Hey, ain't that some? There you go. Universitario de Deportes 0. Inter Miami CF 0. 4-5 en penales. Inter Miami CF ganador en penales en la partido amistoso preparando pretemporada. Miami gets the win in penalties. They drew another game, another preseason game drawn. They do not win regular time, but they win the shootout again. This time it was much better than the America game, I will say that much. Halftime it was 0-0, 0-0, medio tiempo. Of course. But Miami, I thought, were the better team in that first half. I think they were the more dangerous team chance-wise. I think they had some pretty good dangerous chances. Universitario, of course, got forward, but their chances weren't as dangerous in my book. Miami had more possession. I think Miami did control the game. I do think sometimes they ran around like chickens with their heads cut off, and I don't really see the tactics. But other than that, they held a draw against a team who's played 14 games all year. Miami, who's only played 1.5 at that point. Same stands for full-time, though. Full-time 0-0, 0-0 esta noche. Again, I thought Miami played the better game throughout most of it. I don't see how they didn't. I think definitely they could have scored more. I think the second half, Universitario definitely really defended very well. They got back very quickly, like the flash. They were on Miami like wide on rice, especially in that second half. Miami didn't score because Universitario's second half defense especially was absolutely, the get back speed was amazing. The runs back were amazing. The coverage of each player. The zone defense, I would say, the zonal marking worked perfectly like a charm. Defensively, Universitario were amazing, especially the second half, I gotta say. Miami offensively, not up to snuff yet, I would say. Not up to where they should be, especially with the players they have. Messi played most of the game. Wasn't like a 60-minute get out. It was more like 75, 80, closer to almost a whole game. And he did nothing. Suarez had an offside goal that the keeper kicked in, but it was offside first half, so that changes things. But you look at it, you're like, well, damn, Universitario's defense, amazing. Miami's offense, not so. At least didn't win the battles, but they had moments, but still didn't win the battles. So we go to penalties. After a 0-0 draw, after 90 minutes, 0-0 esta noche, we go to penalties. En penales, Diego Churin goes first for Universitario, takes the shot to the opposite side of Ustari. A goal, 1-0, 1-0 en penales. Julian Gressel gets his penalty, bangs it home, 1-1, 1-1 en penales. Horacio Calcaterra scores his penalty, 2-1, 2-1 en penales. Santiago Morales, he scored against America. He scores against Universitario. A beautiful penalty by Santi Morales, 2-2, 2-2. He's damn good. He's got a lot of potential, that's all I'm going to say. Girault Velez puts it over the bar, 2-2, 2-2. Miami can take the lead with David Ruiz, and he does. Bangs it home with authority, 2-3, 2-3 en penales. Jairo Concha scores his penalty, 3-3, 3-3. Benjamin Kromashki scores his, slots his home, 3-4, 3-4. Jose Rivera slots his penalty home past Ustari, 4-4, 4-4. Yannick Bright wins the match, scores his penalty, 4-5, 4-5 en penales. Miami, ganador. en penales. After penalties, 0-0 on the night, 4-5 on penalties. 0-0 esta noche, 4-5 en penales. Miami wins the match. Well, the shootout at least. They did not win the match. They were the better team slightly, I think, overall. But really to the point where there's no man in the match. I mean, I guess you could say David Ruiz for scoring the penalty that ends up putting Miami in position to run the table and win the shootout 4-5. That's where I'll go with that. David Ruiz is man of the match for scoring the penalty that threw the game into Miami's corner and it never left. So that's where we'll go with that. Man of the match, David Ruiz. But full-time stats are as follows. 13 shots to 11, 5 shots on goal to 2, 41% possession to 59% possession, 366 passes to 645, 83% pass accuracy to 87% pass accuracy, 10 fouls to 14, 2 offside to 1, 2 yellow cards to 2, 0 red cards to 0, 7 corners to 5. This game was wild, to say the least. Game was wild, to say the least. Well, I wouldn't say wild, but it was a definite weird situation because I think Miami should have won this game a lot easier. They didn't. They should have won this in 90 minutes. I know Universitario's played 14 matches this year. I know they have better form right now. I know it's in their stadium. I get that. But Miami is the better team on paper and with names. Yeah, Edison Flores played in MLS. Andy Polo played in MLS. If y'all were remembering those names but forgot, they did play in MLS. Edison Flores, DC. Andy Polo, Portland. They did play in MLS, and they played at the Copa. Well, Andy Polo played at the Copa for sure. He did play at the Copa. I don't think Edison Flores did, but I might be wrong. I don't think he did. But you have I may be misremembering, but I know Andy Polo did. With that being said, though, yeah, I mean, there were some players who were talented on Universitario, but Miami's got way more talent. A way deeper squad than Universitario. And honestly, the way they played, I'm surprised they didn't score. I'm surprised Miami did not score a goal. Not 1, 0. Zilch. I'm surprised. Because they should have been the better side for most of it. Should have scored a goal. They didn't really have it tonight, to be honest. Yeah, their offense was better. Yeah, they were slightly better. I'd say they did control the game, but they did not show as much dominance as I would have expected against Universitario. I am a little bit worried about Miami right now. I don't trust them. I don't. Defensively, the team needs to work on their defense overall, change out some players, sign some better defenders, simple as, point blank period, right? And you look at this team and you're like, weird. Like, this team just doesn't give you that feeling of this team is going to do anything special. They don't. They're going to be what they are, fail somewhere along the line, and just not win the trophies they're supposed to win. Miami does not inspire me with confidence that the playoff loss was a fluke. They think Messi could win them everything. Yeah, Leagues Cup was a bad thing to start off with, sort of. Not that it was bad to win it, but the fact they won it, and now they think Messi could just win them everything in CONCACAF because he's the GOAT with his best friends. That's not how this works. Who knows? Maybe the defense is a little bit more solid. Maybe Drake Callender doesn't have bad moments. Maybe they learned defensively. And maybe Mascherano's tactics are better. But I guarantee you, that man has no tactics. They look like chickens running around with their heads cut off. Like, I don't understand what the hell his system is. I don't. It looks like it's just pass it to Messi. Pass it to Suarez. Run around. Get to the ball. Chase the ball. Pass it to Messi. Suarez will win there. Like, it's mind-boggling. It's like Like, we're going to play through the stars. Didn't we already fail at this? And we're just doing it even more? Okay, that's something for you, but I don't like where Miami's going. The America game, it was one game versus one game. Preseason-wise. This game was 14v2. Fair. But, again, Miami's a better team than Universitario. If Miami doesn't beat Sporting San Miguelito or Olympia, especially Sporting San Miguelito, we got some problems. Oh, we got some problems. If they don't win that game, if they don't win Sporting in a runaway in Panama, they got problems. True problems. They don't beat Olympia or look like the better team. A 1-0 win would probably suffice. A 1-1 draw, a penalty shootout win, fair. But now we're talking about, here's the problem with Miami's preseason. They're playing teams that are not either at their level or above them. Last year, they played teams that most of them were at their level or above them, arguably. This year, they're playing teams lower than them, except for America and Orlando. But 3 games, the tour games, the actual outside of North America tour games, are against lower level opposition. And they don't look too good on leg 1. And America was starting on equal footing, at least with form. So that didn't look too good either. There are red flags flying, just like last year, except this year it's a little bit more insidious. Like losing to Al Hilal the way they did, yeah, they almost came back. Losing to Al Nassr the way they did, that was embarrassing. But the difference being is that team does on paper at least equal or better Miami. The El Salvador game, first game, 0-0 draw in El Salvador, hard to play down there. Okay. I think the way this tour was made was they don't get totally embarrassed unless you pay attention. But the scorelines won't embarrass them. But if you see the way they're playing, it might embarrass them. Who knows? But hey, at least you play Kansas City to start the CCL. So that's a layup, I'd hope. With that being said, I'll see you on Friday. Liga MX match, I think it's Cruz Azul. Cruz Azul live RSR. Cruz Azul's match live RSR on Friday. I'll see you then. And then Sunday I'll be live for Miami. Sporting San Miguelito. We'll review that as well. Saturday I'm off. I'm watching the Royal Rumble. Of course, the members, the Dynasty stars will get month ahead and run it back 31st. Run it back on the 31st, month ahead on the 1st. And there you go. So, we're getting close to CCL. The final days before CCL, we'll get there. But I'll see you on Friday. Tomorrow we're off. See you later. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. Miami, you got some stuff to fix. That's all I'm saying. Peace.